lesson here, babe. You come at the king, you best not miss.
Cursed be the ground, for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
All right, you Dusty Jermaines, what's going on? It is a Ask Me Anything Friday. It's a Black Friday. Okay, it's a Friday the 13th, right? And Friday the 13th is significant is because that was the day that the Templars got kicked out of France by the king of France. Stole their money, killed half of them, and put them on a boat going to England, okay, going to the UK, the British Isles, where they became Masons. So that's where that comes from. So that's why Friday the 13th is always a bad day, right? It's a bad day for the Masons. So I thought it was fitting to put Jason's mask in as a thumbnail. I thought it was funny. As soon as I started, oh, Friday the 13th, okay. What's a good thumbnail? So I put up Jason's mask. Anyhow, free agent Triple OG, he's first. What's going on? Alex, what's happening? Scorpion Black, Brother Truth Be Told, Inspired Truth. Brian Will, what's going on? It sure is Friday 13th. Yep, it is. Natoya with the apple, what's happening? Adric, what's going on, man? You're late, man. Rain Lab, what's happening? Hurricane Greg, what's going on? Eddie in the parking lot doing donuts, doing figure eights and shit. Maggie, what's going on? Play Perry, what's happening? Trail, and to the dust we shall return. There's the Doc, what's going on, Doc? Doc probably already knows that about Friday the 13th. Ricky, what's going on? Pharaoh, what's happening? Keep them turning, Pharaoh. Keep them strags and them gynocrats at bay. What's going on, Shelton? Snowman, okay, warming up in the bullpen. Oh, yeah, the Aces. Okay. I hope they do better, man. You know, if they hit more shots, they hit more shots, but they have to be more physical. This is playoff basketball. Ricky, what's going on? Cynical Optimist, what's going on? Paul, what's happening? Should I be paranoid of black cats asking for a friend? Today you might. You know, black cats might attack today. Ricky, what's going on? Willie R, what's going on? Carl, what's happening? Let's see what we got. Biro, what's going on? Good day. Little Maple Leaf, what's happening? Cynical Optimist, what's happening? Chance, what's going on? Let's see what we got. Supreme Ibmore, where you been, man? Dayron, what's happening? LAPD SWAT, what's going on? Barry Hamilton, what's going on? Zavi, what's good, man? Zavi, are you doing your best Lawrence impression right now? JT, what's going on? K-Ron, what's happening? Interesting history on the Templars. Yeah, the book is called Holy Blood, Holy Grail. It kind of it does a history of the Templars in a sense, and the Masons. Olotito, what's going on? Ricky, Leon, what's happening? Freaks come out at night. Yeah, well, that's true. Friday the 13th. JT, why are black women more likely to listen and have reverence for their friends than their husband? This is something I noticed in my family. It's because you are not respected as a man. You are an accessory, okay? You're not part of the brain trust. That's how come even if it's your house that you bought and paid for, when your wife moves into it, it becomes mama's house. It doesn't become your house anymore. Quentin, what's happening? Pragmatic Prime, what's going on? Dane Rose, what's going on? MS Delta with a 1313 tax, okay? Appreciate you. Hey, what's it like in the Beltway, MS Delta, with all this kerfuffle going on, man, with the Republicans and Democrats changing sides and shit? Michael, what's happening? Satire Junk, ABGS, who was the author of the book y'all? Oh, I don't know who the author is. Because I read this. I read that book, man. It's got to be like 30 years ago. I don't know if he even still have it. Um, but if you look, there's only one book, Holy Blood, Holy Grail. Okay, and I think it was printed in the 80s. So look for the. If it's printed in the 80s, it's probably that book. I did get the close. My internet is up, so I'll be okay. All right, appreciate you. All right. Yes, you did, man. Hey, two words. It's one word. It's called eBay. Okay, eBay and get you a good guy to actually kind of a good old black man that does shoes, man, and take it to an old good old black man that refurbishes shoes. Save yourself some money, man. And it's still, yeah, it is crazy, man. Instant Media beaming in on Transporter Pad 7. Dane Rose, black woman was not trained to serve black men. No, it's the other way around. I mean, I've been trying to tell you guys that forever. Going back to 1750, when white men put black women in charge of the family, okay, by saying that the product of the womb determines the future of the child, right? Okay, status of the child, and they put her over the family, okay, because you were there for labor, not to raise children. Your thoughts have come out of getting questions ahead of time. I'm not surprised. That stuff is going to come out, man. I don't know why they would do that. Well, they had to do it because they needed her to have a good showing. So I'm not surprised. Is it possible for black men ever get work together for a common goal? Yeah, it's possible. Is it likely? Probably not, because we always look to our women for leadership. That's the problem. Okay, that's all the questions I'm going to get. Oh my goodness! All right, so I got to find. I mean, there's other stuff. Uh, I was listening to something. I was okay. We can do this until we get questions. Her earrings were earbuds, possibly. Yeah, herding cats. Yeah, yeah, it is herding cats. But the thing is, it's designed to be that way. It's designed to be that way, and you have all three people on top of you, um, basically keeping you in that position. And the thing is, what's unique about black men? We won't stay in that position. We always find a way around it, and that's what they don't like. We won't accept our place. Can black men reverse to stop black men from taking over homes they pay for? Is this the winner? So yeah, you can stop, but don't marry him. And why would you invite a vampire into your house? I do have a second question. You mentioned the gold standard couldn't work through a certain population. I was curious about how come. Okay, since this is AMA Friday, okay, I'll give you a fuller explanation. Okay, um, basically, until the Industrial Revolution, populations were stayed between The world population stayed between 200 million and maybe 500 million at the top, right? Okay. When they broke out of that range, okay, then the gold standard couldn't work because you don't have enough gold as metal as money to for the expanded population. So in other words, your economy, how are you going to pay people, okay, if you don't have enough gold? How are people going to go to work if you don't have enough gold? You have to find an alternative what means of transactions, right? And gold is limited. If you don't mine enough gold, then your population, your not your population, but your economy can't expand for the growth of the population. So that's how come they went to a fiat currency instead. So the gold standard is a restrictor. Is to keep the money supply in the economy from growing too fast. Okay. So the only way you can grow is to bring more gold into your system. So if you have a population explosion and gold is your standard, is your money, then you got to go find gold from elsewhere. Either you have to mine it, which is very difficult, or guess what? You go steal it from somebody else. That's how come you had two world wars. And after the two world wars in Europe, they said, okay, let's do something else, which is go to a quasi gold standard and then to go to a fiat currency standard. That's how come the gold standard doesn't work. That's how come you have stuff like Bitcoin. Am I feeling lucky? I just take it as it is. I'm not here to defend Biden at all, but it's some inflation. Nope, it's actually not. It actually is not. Most of this inflation is caused by Joe Biden, and the most of the inflation happened in 2022. Okay, after the first year, and breaking of the supply chains. The war in the Ukraine really started it. Raising interest rates. Okay, taxing people more. Okay, letting the home prices inflate. There's a lot of stuff that happened. That's on his watch. Will silver ever catch up to gold? No, that's too because there's more silver than gold. Supply is bigger. Can you play "It's Always Jermaine's Fault" clip because because it gets me every time because it's true. Okay, this one's for you.
I'm done. I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Yeah, that's a funny clip. It's a funny clip, but it's also a tragic clip because it's an actual occurrence, and the story behind it is really sad. How do you get some of the mild age to older men in your family to open up? In particular, my stepfather, he's late 40s and a reformed thug. Okay, easy. Basically, you have to have a little patience, get a little alcohol, and do something that he likes, and naturally it'll start to bubble up. And the thing is, if you can relate to him, right? Okay, something that you're going through that's similar to him, then and then he'll open up. Men just don't open up just to open up. They recall and they relate because it's important at the time. So I asked as I was reflecting on my past, I saw no solution, had no help, and everything was adversarial. When I left, rebuilt everything. No double X stops me. No, nor should it. Um, it only stops you because you let it. That's why SBM. Okay. It was historical until the British changed the standard. Standard used to be silver because the Chinese accepted silver in trade. So it used to be silver. It didn't used to be gold. Gold standard was actually invented by the um, the Templars and then the British. How was the Federal Reserve able to last over 100 years when the USA's first two central banks will last 20 years? Because the central bank, the Federal Reserve, was necessary to keep banks from crashing. Okay, because all the money panics that you had, they figured out, okay, you need a Federal Reserve to keep the stuff stable. And that's how come it has to report to Congress, has to report to the president. How did the black men allow feminist movement to commandeer civil rights benefits when they were the ones at the front line? We had no choice, and we had no say over it, right? Feminists, number one, is white men and white women that had the choice, okay? And black women, all they had to do was give them cover. Y'all think you guys have more power than you do, and that's the problem. That's the problem that you have. You think you have more power than you do because you want to. I know no one wants you. You want to feel macho and powerful, but the thing is, you can be powerful and still realize where you are. It's like being a bantamweight or a featherweight fighting a heavyweight. Okay, you're still powerful, but you got to realize who you're in the ring with. Could space expansion, lunar and Martian colonies, plus orbit put mankind on a path of renewal the next half? Most of the stuff that we're going through is we're fighting over limited resources instead of going up and out where all the resources actually are. Okay, because most of the stuff we fight over is meaningless once you bring down the resources. Do you see any of the black women in LA due to the economy have tampered down on Oh yeah, that happened a long time ago. They tamped down on the BS is because black men have options. Now, they can be on that BS if they want to, but the black men just go to a Latina or an Asian because they import so many women that you will lose count. So a black woman on with their ass on the shoulder, it doesn't do any good. You can have your ass on the shoulder. I don't have to date you, okay? And most black guys, if you get an attitude, he go, psh, okay. Next, I need to get a hockey mask, but I need to splatter some paint on to match my vertigo. They're like, okay. Emmanuel, okay, laugh my ass off. Okay, it's always Jermaine's fault, but the lady Ashley in her life after that. Okay. Oh, yeah, well, she wound up in the cuckoo asylum, okay, by doing that shit. But it is what it is. Asteroid mining, yeah, mining from other planets. Actually, Biden did, believe it or not. What country do you recommend to find a good wife? Depends on what you call a good wife. What do you want? I always ask that question. People ask me, what's a good wife to you? Do you think we're nearing the end of the post World War II? The post World War II era actually ended with the fall with Nixon in '71, and then you had to start a new era, which is a neoliberal era, which is something else. Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that's what I think that's what permanent means. Had you ever considered a BGS was right tax? That is for other people to do. Okay. Have you heard about the 1992 movie Worth It? No, I don't think I remember that one. Must be Friday the 13th putting out all of these network fires. Oh yeah, it must be. I think these people are probably drunk. That's probably what's going on. Actual, you were wrong again, BGS. Okay. I hear that all the time, but I hear but you're wrong, BGS. Not that you're wrong, but BGS, have you considered this? What's going on, Mr. Donnie Mac? Mr. Me Too, what's happening? How esoteric are you? I don't think you want to find out, bro. I don't think you want to find out. I'm so esoteric that when I give it to you, you don't even think it's esoteric because I've simplified it to the point where where you actually think it's normal. Like the anima, right? Anima is very esoteric. But the thing is, once I explain it and simplify it, it becomes normal to you. It's no longer esoteric to you. A wife that's loyal with good attitude and good character. Okay, that doesn't tell me anything. Thoughts on Iran and the potential on a greater regional war? Um, I don't think it'll be one personally. Okay, because if you get into war with Iran, that means the U.S. and NATO will have to get into it. That means China and Russia will have to come to the aid of Iran. We don't want to see that. So I don't think it's a possibility at all personally. But if it does, start building shelters because Israel cannot fight Iran by itself. Israel cannot fight Iran. They don't have the money, the people, or the material. They can't fight Iran by itself. So they basically be the United States against Iran. Favorite beer? That's a good question. I don't have a favorite beer because I don't drink beer enough to have a favorite. So that's a good question. I was trying Ice House until they ran out of it. Hey, what's going on, Johnny? What's happening? Mystery at the Conclave. I wasn't supposed to be there. So is that a new one, Louis? The quality for a wife must have a booty, slightly educated, pour into me, great with children. That means you need to go down into Colombia and get your Latina. A Latina that's educated, like past the eighth grade. Okay, if that's what you're looking for. Go down Colombia, get you a Afro Latina down there. Well, if he gets his grades up, they're trying to get him into two new plays. So he's doing his thing. But thing he's got to get his grades up though. So he just finished the play maybe a month ago. They had some showcase performances here and there, and they're trying to get him into two more plays, and they're trying to get him into the Debbie Allen dance troupe. So we'll see how it goes. Be your favorite is Pabst Blue Ribbon. Just kidding. You know what? Actually, it used to be at the Staples Center, right? It used to be Budweiser in a 32-ounce mug, but they froze the mug. So cold as Budweiser, man, to where it's almost like freezing. Okay, that shit was good. No, the Suez Crisis moment, yeah, it had. Okay, you had a Suez Crisis moment. That's when the Houthis were blocking off the Red Sea. That's what you saw. You're actually in the Suez Crisis moment right now, believe it or not. That was a good breakdown, and comparing to your female mind is dope. Okay. Nobody besides Israel. Nothing to stop them. Have proper sonics. The thing is, in a war of attrition, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia right now? Okay. Without the United States help, like I said, Israel can't really against a larger opponent. Israel can't fight past like a couple of months. They don't have the people or the money or the equipment. What's in your tool belt metaphorically that you think you it will carry through your life? I think will carry you through life. I would say two things: learning to listen and learning to read. Okay, if you learn to listen and learn to read, you can acquire new knowledge and acquire new skills. Okay, if you read and you learn to listen, okay, then you're not stuck in a pigeonhole. Okay, so it's easier for you to go from you can go anywhere from uh, laying pipe or building a building or uh, being an electrician to HVAC guy or to a computer programmer, okay? Or even to a salesman. If you learn to read, okay, and learn to read well, keep your mouth shut, and learn to listen to experts in that field, right? And apply it, then you can learn just about anything. Most people can learn just about anything. C students actually do better than A students because of that, because they learn to read and work at it, and they learn to keep their mouth shut and acquire knowledge. Okay, you do those two things, just those two things. Okay, because that's how you acquire knowledge, through hearing and reading. Those two things will get you much further than anything else because you can always adapt. And if you actually listen to highly successful men, right? Now, I'm not Donald Trump excluded, right? Donald Trump actually learns how to listen, right? He actually listens better than he talks. But most successful men, the two things they said: acquire knowledge by reading and reading great books, and listening to great people. If you learn to read and learn to listen, and then apply what you've read and what you've heard into a skill, okay, you can transition to anything. Not well. You're pretty sure, but the thing is, they don't. Okay, they've tested them, but they don't. Oh, just a channel link. Okay. Unfortunately, looking for a woman that's fit, feminine, virtuous, like Proverbs 31. Okay, if that's what you're looking for, okay, and you're willing to travel, get out of the West. In any developing country, don't get in the city. Go to the village. Okay, I was talking to a young lady in Kenya, right? Okay, she didn't have sex till she was 22. Okay, she was a virgin till she was 22 because she didn't know anything, right? She didn't know anything about it. All she knew was she was a traditional woman, right? Traditional girl. Okay, but if you want a virtuous woman that's fit, feminine, virtuous, get out of the city. Okay, get out of the city. You try to get out of the West if you can, right? Go to a developing country. Okay, even Mexico. Get out of the city, go to the village, right? You go to the village, which is rural areas, you'll find one. They train them every day. I've read Church Ward's book. Which one? What are the books about religion? What is about astrology? Astrology is difficult. And that reminds me, I got to finish my classes on my Patreon and publish the best book on astrology I ever saw was my teacher's manual. Okay, it's like maybe 200-300 pages, but it goes through everything. So that's probably the best book on astrology that I've seen. Okay, astrology is really hit or miss, and it's not all in one place. But depends on what you want to use astrology for. Religion, I would say the evolution and origin and evolution of talking about a church ward's book. Okay. You can go just about anywhere. You can go to Swallow de Lubick, the Temple in Man. You can go to. I have to think about it. I haven't looked at this stuff in a minute. I have to get back to you about the religious books. There's quite a few of them. Thought on nuclear fusion replace the current power. You have to because you're going to run out of oil. That's why they're doing it. I think he could have been calmer. Okay. He could have been calmer, and that's what his agent told him. You could have just rolled the window down, handed him your stuff, called the officer, sir, and sign an autograph form, got your ticket, and rolled on. Okay, but you want to be an asshole that day, and he's macho, so Hey, BS, our black one right that we keep our emotions bottled up and don't know how to express our emotions because of no, that's bullshit. Basically, um, the thing is we don't express our emotions the way they do, and most women do not want you to express their emotions the way they're expressing their emotions. Otherwise, they call you with a bitch ass nigga, right? Okay, they don't want that. So don't even listen to them. The thing is, they need to learn how to read us instead of vice versa, because we're not women. What does will your mastermind conclude the system will choose for Prezi, Morgano, Trumpathon? I don't know. I don't know. Can the thing is, it's up in the air. Can they put enough propaganda in front of you that should make you choose her? I don't know. I mean, the Latina women. Well, then you got like half a billion people. So go down south of the border, south of the American border. Got tons of them. Just the thing is, just get out of the city though. Don't pick a city woman. Okay, as uh as the Africans told me, don't get yourself a city wife, city girl. Get yourself a village girl. Okay. The thing is, she won't be as educated. How many man? How many wives should a man have? I'm talking at the same time. As many as you can afford, and as many as you can psychologically handle. It also depends on the culture that you're in. Because if you're in American culture, I would say at max two, max two. Because women take up a lot of time. Okay, they do. I would say max two. What's going on, Ray? No way Iran has a tech and the U.S. doesn't. Someone else will sell the tech for sure. The thing is, Iran, Russia, and China have the tech, and guess who Russia and China's partner is? It's called Iran. Where do you think they got them from? Where do you think the Houthis got them from? Hmm. I'm good. I'm good. You learn a lot with CapCut. Okay. Uh, do you keep asking me the same question? I keep telling you the same answer. My dear woman is an 89 Gen X climber, 92 octane Latina, but they are pretty hard to come by unless I move to Cali, Texas, Florida, or NYC tri-state. Yep, got to move. Got to go where they are. 89 movie Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman as Joe Clark warned that we were going to be a permanent underclass. Also, his biggest nemesis, the students advancing were black. Yep, and liberal politicians. Yep. That has become very apparent as the manosphere rises and points itself out. Basically, we're holding up a mirror, and all the gatekeepers have to start telling the truth. Caspian Report released a new video regarding the Houthis. Okay, I'll look at it because sometimes they're hit or miss. Are we going to be in a standoff while China is in the passing lane? I have no idea what that is. And it doesn't matter, Spain, man. They're behind, and they don't have the economy, nor the industrial might to keep up with China or Russia. I can testify how BGS breaks down esoteric. Doesn't feel esoteric that my best friend keeps asking me more questions when I share. But you think next year you'll be able to get back to esoteric lessons? I'm trying to get back to it this year. The thing is, I mean, it's what you guys asked for. Okay, you guys want to ask about politics and women and all this other kind of crap. So esotericism has taken a back seat. Maggie's doing a fairly good job though. Don't date single mothers. It depends. Okay. You know who to talk to, Trail. You're here every week. You're here every day. You know who to talk to. That is true. They don't. The Houthis kind of taught them that, especially after they pumped all their munitions into Ukraine. All right, Dan Rose, stop advertising, okay? This is not a dating site, okay? So you said it, so stop spamming my chat with dating. We don't have that many women here. How do you stay motivated in pursuing a relationship when you're basically black pilled? Everything else is so frivolous. It depends on what your needs are. You focus on what you need out of that woman, and it's not that hard. It simplifies things. Who is responsible for the decision to like Kamala Soros? I don't know. I don't know. That is a good question. Inquiring minds want to know. Y'all hit the like button. I can tell you, don't look at the church for a virtuous woman. Yeah, I said it. Mexico is closer, but the thing is, you got to get outside the big cities of Mexico. Any tips on starting a new job or maybe traveling for work? Basically, well, starting a new job, you've done this many times before. Basically, keep your mouth shut and ears open, and try to read everything and imbibe everything that you can. And then my key is find a problem that they can't solve. Okay, there's always a problem that they're having a sticking point we're having issues with. If you find a sticking point and you can unstick that sticking point, okay, you're in. But the thing is, you can't know that unless you learn what you need to learn about the job that you're in, because the job extends past your little cubicle. Find out what's connected to your job and what the whole structure looks like. So that's what I always try to find out. Not just what my job is, but how do I fit in the whole structure? And that'll tell you exactly, can I move up, can I move sideways, and what problems can I solve that will actually endear me to my employers, because that's what they really want. Traveling for work, um, that depends on the job. Okay, it depends on the job. Most of the people that travel for work are either salesmen or people that are trying to manage other people. Happy Friday, appreciate you, Jules. Maybe where can I go to get what? Maybe where can I go to get a natal chart reading? Oh, just email me. It depends. It depends if you were. I used to do them. I probably still do them if you are a patron. Okay. Normally, if I do an open session, right, I do four for free. So I do a quick reading for four people for free because you're a patron. But if you want me to do a longer one, it's like $20 or something like that. But email me. You think American football can be part of? Nope, I don't think so. Too expensive. City Girls down 1,000 points. Well, basically, they are, because City Girl. There's no money for City Girls. City Girls are very expensive. Ever thought of doing a book club either on YouTube or a Patreon? Not really. Okay. It's hard to get people to read. I slept in on one of the days and missed someone's 9 a.m. podium time. Okay. I hope it went well. I mean, he was wrong. Okay, because one, you're in the wrong. Two, you got an attitude when he walks up. Okay, but you know, you got to be as a cop, you got to be a dumbass in Miami to pull over. You pull him over to actually pull a Miami Dolphin out of his car and handcuff him. You got to be the biggest dumbass on the planet and not really want your job because you're gonna be fired. Okay, because the Dolphins are actually going to ask for your head. You give the dude basically eat your lunch. Okay, eat your lunch. Cuss him out if you have to. Give him a ticket and send him on his way. Don't pull him out of the car and handcuff him and then send him on the curb. So now you have this big ass scandal that's gone all over the country, and the Dolphins are pissed. Your mayor is pissed, and your police chief is pissed. And guess who's sitting on the sidelines hoping to keep his job? There is a power dynamic. Basically, this playoff dude, this football player is paying your fucking salary. That's how come you got this special beat, and extra pay on fucking Sunday to basically watch traffic going into the goddamn game, dumbass. We are time suckers. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they need, and that's the whole thing. Okay. Unless unless you just want a lot of concubines, then you don't need to get married. If you're a rich dude and you just want to dabble, become a future, become Nick Cannon, become one of those guys, right? That don't have the responsibility of being a husband. You're taking a very wise man, kind of ahead of his time. Um, but there's a lot of people that are like him. Have you read Orion Taraban's book? No, I haven't. I haven't even bought it yet. Thanks for reminding me, though. I think I did. One time he was at a festival, so I did catch him. One time I caught him, way back in the day. Yeah, he told me. Yeah, he did tell me. I actually talked to him. He said he was trying to get black people to wake up and get out of that position, but they never did. I'm game for esoteric stuff more than this damn election. Yeah, Maggie is doing her thing. Yep. But the thing is, you by yourself is one thing. It takes more than just you. Have you just I found out Jane Roe is a member of the alphabet community? How come they never mentioned that? Because they don't want you to know. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you. Little Maple Leaf. What's up, BGS? Still laughing at the joke from the other day. We don't want war. We don't want to fight. We want to eat. That is true, man. That is true. Cloud with TJ. BJ, you doing the Super Bowl? Going to the Super Bowl next year? Where's this going to be? I don't even know where it's going to be. That's a big ass if, man. If black people as a community are still around in 2050. Hell, if the United States is an entity in 2050. Thoughts on about white people being the best, okay? That's a belief. I'm a Sagittarius. I've learned I can't forgive. You can. How do I work on forgiveness? I stop trying to be right, okay? Sag just want to be right all the goddamn time, and they judge other people. Okay, stop trying to be right. If you give up the need to be right, okay, you can move on. All right, people are just people. Stop trying to judge them. Okay? Because if you judge them, you have to judge yourself harshly. Stop trying to be right. Stop judging people and accept them for who they are. It's not that. It's real simple. You and Sagittarius and Libras have that problem. What's going on, brother? Brother Chris? Earlier you said West Hollywood is predominantly gay. It's the only incorporated gay gay city. Okay, look it up. West Hollywood is an incorporated gay city. The city council, the police force, blah blah blah, and they're all LGBTQ. Okay, been that way for the last 40 years. Some of us scientists believe that we will move to artificial fuel powered by solar. Any thoughts? I'm still team fusion, nuclear. Yeah, but when? It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when. Is it 50 years, 100 years, 500 years? You don't know. You have to work with what is first, and then work on what's possible. The closer we get is flag football. Possibly. I travel for peace. Well, you that dude, Anubis. That's why. Everybody ain't that dude, okay? Have you heard about Raytheon 200 million fine about data and product exports to adversaries? I haven't heard about it, but I'm not surprised. I'm a UCLA Bruin fan. That's what I grew up as. And I don't follow it enough to actually keep up with it. Hard enough to keep up with this. Right by the stadium, too, he had a point to prove. Okay. Had points to prove. Oh, okay. I don't get it. No, basically, Super Bowl is a lot of money, man. So the thing is, I've never even been to one because the traffic, the crowd, all that kind of stuff. I've been to the parties and all that other kind of shit, but the thing is, actually go. Um, I never really had a reason to go to the Super Bowl. I never really, it's just a football game to me. Afternoon master teacher, we just went out to Costa Rica for my 50th. What's the best advice you can give me? Also, I need to get into Theo. I don't know. Basically, the best advice if you're going to go to a developing country, try to get out of the tourist areas and away from the city. And the third thing is learn the language. Learn to speak Spanish. Yeah, you, Anubis, stop. Yeah. That was a dumbass move, man. Even Tariq Hill is an asshole, but thing is, he's an important asshole. And you don't do it on the way to a fucking Dolphins game, fool. Black restaurant manager on TikTok say he's. Oh yeah, I actually showed that. I actually showed that. It's because you can't make her a white woman. That's how. Yeah, they need the money. That's how come the first call wasn't to the police chief. The first call was to the mayor, and the mayor called the police chief, and the police called the desk sergeant, and they sent somebody out. Okay, and they had him in the police chief had him sent to the police chief's office and had him talk to son. You just fucked up. In other words, this is what he was hearing, right? This is what he was hearing when he walked in.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
He was hearing the whole time. Just getting in. Did you see Angela Rye try to play identity politics with Jill Stein on The Breakfast Club? No, I did not, but I'm not surprised. Okay. That's in other words, that dog won't hunt no more. And see, we're almost. Let me see for super chats first. Okay, none of those. Okay. Now we go down order. Sag giving up the need to be right and judging. That is funny. But that's your challenge. Okay, you can't get rid of it, but things you got to soften it. If you actually want to get better. Shout out to the Sages, assholes. No, actually, Aries are assholes. What's going on, Art? Sagittarius, King Sagittarius is always right. Yeah, that's what they think. It takes being right to an extreme. It is what it is. It's one of those challenges, right? Lazarus, somebody's looking for you, man. The Theo's group is looking for you, man. So I'll put my email into the chat, and they're trying to get in contact with you. So somebody just asked me about you yesterday. I said I will ask him when I see him. Chappelle was visionary, yeah. How much do your trips normally cost? It depends. Depends how you want to travel. You want to travel like a Westerner, it's going to cost you 2-3 grand for a couple of weeks, right? If you travel like a regular person, okay, that 3 grand can last you 3 months, okay. If you're a backpacker, that 3 grand can last you 5 months. Depends on how, but the thing you have to go to hostels and backpack, and you got to take local transport, all that kind of crap, right? Depends on how you actually want to roll. You want to roll like Anubis, it's going to cost you a pretty penny, okay? If you're going to roll like, say, a local, then it won't cost you that much. Because I think it was Guatemala, it cost me for 3 months, it cost me about $1,500 for 3 months I was down there. But that was like 9 years ago. Cost me 1,500. Depends on how you want to travel. Depends on how you want to live, how you want to stay in the place, and it depends on how you want to roll. You want to roll like a first world, it's gonna cost. People don't understand how much of the economy is based on fossil fuels, not just fuel with roofing, all the stuff's intertwined. Yep. Can Theo drop a link to his courses? Okay, you got. I don't know if Ninja Person is in, but Jules is in. Um, Basically, if they're here, they can drop in the info. UCLA fan. I was actually here when my parents actually moved us here in the mid '60s. That was in the middle of John Wooden. That's what Juice says. Okay. I'm here in Baltimore. I see more and more younger, older black men become homeless while immigrants are moving homes with resources. And that's the complaint, okay? That's the complaint. But you guys they want to vote for Kamala Harris, is what it is. I'm really wrong. How are Democrats able to justify super delegate system when it's basically a primary revision of college? Seeing hypocritical for one and against the other. The thing is, why do you vote for the goddamn people? It's an open. You can vote for anybody in America, right? You don't have to vote for the Democrats or the Republicans. You vote for anybody because you believe in these parties. Is why these parties exist. They have no power without you voting for them. Is this the conversation about Eric Adams and the police chief resigning? No, it's not. Do we think Dion can guide Colorado past Colorado State for a win tomorrow? Um, you know what? I don't know because His team has looked so bad this year for the first two games. They look really bad, especially the defense. So I don't even think they can beat them personally. That's how bad it is. Angela Ray, lettuce and tomatoes on the side. Okay. Try to progress the black troops. Man, they're trying to push this girl across the line as hard as they can. So I'm not surprised. What are challenges for Leos? Ego, number one. Leos have the huge ego, and Leos like to put themselves first, and they like to be seen. So their egos and their status. Leos love status. They like to be number one. They like the best of the best. So ego and status is a challenge for I say for Leo. And more like Bill. Oh yeah, Bill Duke. uh, all right. Last questions. This is this is a good representation of Kamala Harris on industry S3E5 toward the end of the episode. I have no idea. Oh, industry S series 3 episode 5. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. It's my email for Laveris. Team Taurus. Yeah, I was talking to a bunch of people about that. People keep asking me about that, right? Even though we've talked about it. Yeah, yeah. Anubis, I don't roll like you, Anubis. Okay, I don't roll like you, man. I ain't the dude. Okay, you the dude, man. You got to have the maid service. You got to have the high rise condo overlooking the city and shit. I don't have that. Okay. You know, you got to have the car service and the Ubers and shit like that. See, I don't need that. I get on the chicken bus. Nubas, you down in the Columbia? I get on the fucking chicken bus. Okay. I put on my shorts. I put on my jeans. I put on my t-shirt. I put on my work boots. Okay. I get my backpack or get my pouch, and I get on a chicken bus like everybody else, and I blend in. And I eat what they eat. I travel how they travel. Okay. So basically, they make what three to $400 a month. Okay. To live. Okay. If you live like them, you know, if you live like a regular person in that city, you can make it on $300 or $400 a month. And it came out to be like $1,500, give or take, about $500 a month. I almost decided not to come back. The problem is not astronomical. The problem is you don't want to get on your country's ass to solve the goddamn problem. Okay. Nobody wants to talk about it. Okay. Nobody wants to be about it. If you insist, instead of fighting wars and having this big ass military, it's more important to house people. They'll house people. But if you don't do anything about it or say anything about it, guess what's not going to happen? Because nobody cares. Because you're going to just get them out of my way. And they won't do anything until enough people are homeless. Basically, if you're homeless in a big ass city, um, figure out a way to move. You basically, if enough people move to an area, okay, they can actually start whole new industries because the synergy of people being in a certain area will start a new economic pattern. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the benefits payments scalded or scaled of three Social Security programs. OASI trust fund will decline to zero in the fiscal year 2034, and the DI trust fund. There's a lot of stuff to go into that. The first thing is basically being at zero interest rates for for like what was what 2009 to for like over what, 11, 12 years. It's near zero interest rates. That's the biggest problem. Benson Wesson, what's going on? Going for CPA is, but the thing is, how do you use your CPA once you get it? Do you do taxes? Do you corporate? What are you using it for? Because it's probably best to talk to Sauchi because he's trying to make that move. He's a CPA, but think he's trying to make that move. He's trying to figure out what do you actually do with the tool. Even high end Guatemala is just as cheap. Most Latin America, a 5K is good for 1.5 to 3 months. Yeah, even at the high end. It's pretty much the same. There's not that big a difference between them. I think Panama and Costa Rica may be a little higher, but that's if you're in the main city. Leos have a hard time doing that. Yes, you do. That is the problem. Look at me. Okay. All right. Last questions. Archer, my Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. My baby mama is a oh shit. Okay. In Heart of Chicago, I can't forgive her that she did. So we argue all the time. A Sag trying to get along with a Leo is is why you get with a Leo of all people? Okay. That's your problem right there. That's a mismatch. You have to ask Theo. Well, his mission is for black men. Okay? If you're not a black man, then you can't enter his class. It's exclusively for black men. That is his mission. And you are a female. Okay? You are not part of his mission. It is what it is. His rules. But you can ask him directly. People said, I don't like Costa Rica food was terrible. It's too gringoized. Dub Will, what's going on? Appreciate you. Leo and Sag is on fire. It's fire on fire. The thing is, you got somebody that's judgmental and think they're the right, and with somebody that wants attention, and y'all gonna fight. Okay, you guys gonna fight. I think Aries and Leos get along better than Sagittarius and Leos. Okay, Sag needs Taurus, or Sag needs a Virgo. Virgos get along with everybody. Or a Sag would need a Gemini. You need air. Okay, so it's most fire signs you need air. So a Sag would need a Scorpio or that's water. Well, Scorpio is good for Sag, but Sag would need a probably would get a better along with a Libra better, believe it or not. But the two signs I would actually say is good for a Sag probably would be a Gemini or Virgo. It's because um, Geminis and Virgos don't have thin skin. Okay, you can say something to us and we'll blow it off. Same thing with a Virgo. So if I was a Sag and I was pick a mate, an ideal mate for a Sag, would be a Virgo or a Gemini because they don't have thin skins. And maybe a Libra, and maybe if you want to party, it would be a Scorpio. Okay, because anybody else, you're gonna piss them off, you're gonna judge them, and they're gonna come at you. Because there's one thing about fire with Aries and well, Aries just blunt, but Sagittarius judge and Sagittarius can say some hurtful shit, and so you need somebody that can take your tongue, and that would be a Gemini or a Virgo. Cancer and a Taurus do actually work because cancers are sensitive, and they have a mothering or fathering spirit. They're more like parents, and they can adjust to you. Well, the thing is more about the personality because the Sag is judgmental and and outspoken and blah blah blah. The thing is, Sagittarius think they're right and believe they're right, and Gemini's know they're right. That's the difference. And they go, psh, Gemini said, psh, yeah, whatever. What are your thoughts on Agenda 2030 by the World Economic Forum? I haven't read it, but I'm sure it's not that different than the other outlooks they put out. The thing is, they have to adjust it because they won't be in charge. That's the problem. Europe won't be in charge. You probably get along with the Cancer better than you do with the Aries and Leos. So, but you have to learn how the Cancer, but you have to learn how not to hurt the Cancer's feelings. Nah, then Geminis don't have thin skin. They don't. Okay, say that shit to a Cancer, and say that shit to a Pisces. Okay, say that shit to a Leo and see what kind of explosion you're gonna get. Okay. I'm a Gemini, I know. Yeah, it was. That's what happens when you actually mix systems. You can't mix systems, said Ariel. It's the first thing my teacher told me. Don't mix systems. Whatever system that you're in, you stay there. And we use this system is because that's the system that Freud and Jung used. So that's how we use this system. Now, if you want to go back and do all that work and try to figure out the personalities of the people in your system, go ahead. But trying to mix systems doesn't work. He's an Aries. He doesn't. Well, the thing is, and this is a problem, okay? Especially with a black culture inviting black women into your system. Black women try to take over they complain and try to take over your enterprise. They want to be catered to. They want to be bossed at. They cannot sit back and accept the stuff that men are teaching. It's very difficult to mix uh, male and female. Okay, in a black community, that circumcision doesn't do it. Men have to talk to men. Men have to talk to men how men need to be talked to. And very few women, if any, can actually be in that circle. We know it here. Even the women that are here in the manosphere, right? Y'all can't be in our circles. You know that because when you get in our circles and we get to talking and we get to disagreeing, y'all get your feelings hurt. Okay? Women cannot be in that circle, and I agree with him. Why do you want to be in that circle? How come you can't find uh, uh, how come you can't find females that can actually start their own? And I know Theo has explained why he doesn't allow women in multiple times. And if you have a problem with him, okay, he's on Facebook. Ask him. I know why you're asking me. Uh, See that right there, Samantha, is why Theo doesn't allow women in his group. That's exactly why. See that right there? That entitlement that you're expressing right now? That's why. That's why that you shouldn't be in that group. That's precisely why, because you cannot accept his right to his autonomy. Okay, if it was a woman's group and they said no men were allowed, men would guess what? They accept it. They wouldn't cry about it. Hey, we can't. That's not fair. You don't allow men. Men accept that shit. Women don't. Okay, you don't own us. We are not your lackeys. We're not your resource, okay? We are independent people just like everybody else. Just like you have your independence in your mind and your right to be, so do we. He has a right not to allow women into his group. And Theo's already successful. I don't. I've never felt a BBL, so I can't tell you. My cancer baby mama went to be a stripper. So, dude, Archer, you got issues, man. I don't even know why how you pick your women. You got issues, man. Why, but if you don't be respectful, Sandra, you're gonna get booted from here. All right? Okay. All right, you got issues. Well, you pay more money, Archer. If you want them to stay slim and pretty, you got to step up in class and pay more money. So the tech world with Nana as a whole woman. You can learn from her if you got your big girl panties on. Don't help her. Don't help her. Okay, let her go find out. That's disrespectful. Don't help her. Anyhow, let me get out of here. I will see you guys later. I think Art's got this Friday, so you won't see me later on this Friday. Uh, first you got she comes to you with a feeling first, and then in your dream second, and then you have to keep listening. You'll hear it. Got to keep working it. You're on the late freight. Basically, uh, so you have to wait till next week and or next time we're on, and then if Ninja Person or Jules are in, they'll actually give you the Facebook. But look for I think I know what the Facebook. If Theo's in here, he can actually drop the Facebook link if he wants to. But I don't know why black women come into a man's uh, venue demanding her rights. Okay. Not really. Not really. They don't. Not really. There's a lot of them that aren't 85 octane. The 85 octanes actually. Okay, there it is. That's where you go. That's the link that you hit if you want to get information. But I think this class is probably covered. Okay, we have been announcing this particular class for the last 3 4 months. So if you haven't gotten in, then you're on the late freight. So you have to wait for the next one. All right, good people. We let me check for cash apps and then we out of here. Supreme, appreciate you, and that is it. All right, folks. Ciao.